From the Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios at the Park Forest apartment complex, this is the L2C Media Network. Boop, 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 boop. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to find out what this announcement actually has to put on us. Well, I hear it's a big one. It's somewhere. I don't know just how big it is, but it must be big. He's only going to drop a few uh, little hints, probably to get more interest. Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be going to another judo, another Umacon. Maybe. Who knows? But I think it might have to do something with sports. But we'll just have to find out, won't we? Gentlemen, oh, sorry, hello, boss. Folks, if you're trying to weasel out, guys, if you're trying to weasel out what I'm saving up for, try again. Now, if you don't mind, Mr. Pangborn, you got something you got to do. The rest of you boys and girls, get to your positions because we're rocking this puppy all the way to 11 without a mistake. Okay? Anyway, get going. Live from the Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios at the Park Forest apartment complex in somewhere in the boonies of Jackson, Michigan, the L2C Media Network presents Steve Sporty Balls, presented by a whole lot of people that don't know they're actually sponsoring a nudist colony in Tibet. Now, here's our guy, fully clothed as he should be. Steve the Baxman Baxley. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Jeez. Look, today I've had a little rough day, so if you'll excuse me for a moment. There we are. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah. It's just, there we go. Okay. How you doing, everybody? Great to have you with us. It's 3 minutes past 10 o'clock. Got a little clock on the set there. And we're getting ready for some big time stuff. Tonight, I want to tell you here as we come to you through the modern miracle of the Desilu Productions microphones. And there we go. And everything else that is beautiful, golden, and directly good. We got to do something first before we hit the sports news. The announcement I got to make will be made officially May 19th of next year. All I'm going to say is, should I save enough? No one asked for money or anything like that. We're going to have the biggest, the baddest, and the most wildest on location broadcast we've ever had in a long time. This is going to be a broadcast y'all gonna love. And I forgot to do something, didn't I? Yes, I did. So if you will pardon-moi. And by the way, I just teased it. So you're going to have to wait a few little days. In fact, long little days. Because I am not going to make the announcement at any time except on May 19th of next year. So, folks, stay with us because you never know when the announcement will be officially made. Just said it might be May 19th of next year. But it's going to be something out of this world. You do not want to miss it. Okay? Just keep that in mind. And if you'll just hold on for a minute. Okay. I knew there was something we forgot to do. So we got to correct that something. Yes, we got to correct that something. You know what that something is? We forgot the electronic board, the electronic board. So we're going to be popping that in. And I got a few things that I got to do. By the way, I love our new logo. It's about time we boxed it. Aha. Oklahoma. Come on, post. Thank you. Oklahoma. Anyway, what is in the personal news tonight? Well, our good friend, our producer, Matthew the Wizard Nichols, one of the co-hosts on the Last Call Cafe, sent this in. Apparently, somebody had tried to, his dad had to make another account to replace. They had to replace his phone, and unfortunately, wasn't able to get him back access to his old email and Facebook. Couldn't remember the password, so had to make him a new one. He's readying some of his friends. So if anybody gets a friend request from him or from his new account, it is him. So Matthew, thank you. We spread that to our friends from far and wide, Canada. Okay. Let's get on with this puppy, shall we? Because this puppy is barking. Okay. Anyway, here at our chalet, our little headquarters, we are preparing for a. Oh, geez. Ever since I had that car accident, I can't actually remember what it is. It's on investigation. God blessed hell. What is it? It's not an investigation. It's not an indictment. It's oh God, what is it that they do? Not an investigation, no, not an indictment. An inspection, thank you. It's inspection here at Park Forest, and some of us are going to be inspected and they're going to have a pest genie come along because some of us do have a little problem with a thing called bed bugs. So they're going to come here and they're going to spray from 10 to 4. I have already done, I've already moved and made things very tolerable in here and put stuff in the kitchen, in the bathroom. I'm going to tell them and show them. We'll tell them and show them. Do you see a dresser anywhere? Do you see anything that looks like a dresser? No, because I'm still moving in. I have a made up uh, TV uh, desk. Well, yeah, a TV stand. And I have a nightstand here made up of a kitchen chair to hold things up. And I have my cat's little chair that he's going to sit in sometime in July when all this stuff ends. So he can be happy. And I'm hoping to heck they clean this thing right here. This little cadet. This thing right here. The recliner that bursted with bugs on Saturday. I killed a lot of them. But I've had some good ideas given to me by my by fellow tenants, including one that even the management here agreed does work, and that is 97 to 98% alcohol in a spray container. And after they do their thing, I'll be spraying everything down. And if that works, fine, okay? But I'm not going to take any chances because there are 3 more applications that they've got to do for a total of 4. I'm going to have me a bunch of good clothes to wear during the 4 weeks that they will be here and in other areas of this apartment complex that will be affected by this. So we'll keep you updated. We'll let you know if indeed we'll be streaming tomorrow. Pray for us. That's all I got to tell you is pray for us because there's a lot of things going on here, some of which I cannot speak of on the public airwaves. So just trust me. This is a fun place and I'm not leaving. That's one thing I want to say. I'm not leaving this place. I love it here. We've got to move a light ring in here, a table, a gaming chair, and this is going to be, I'll show it to you again. This is going to be our new studio for our Twitch channel and for our, as well as sometimes where we'll be going to do things like our sportscast and also where we will be doing some other things for our Twitch channel and our YouTube channel as we begin to pump up the L2C Media Network and try our hardest to get the Last Call Cafe back up. That'll be our studio right there. As soon as everything gets all right and readied and very good and very sweet and very professional. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Okay, and once again, our Desilu Productions microphone. Yes, we're pseudo-sponsored by the men and women of Desilu. All right. See right there? Now, the rules said that I can put non-clothing things up there in the kitchen. I'd show you the bathroom, but I don't think our camera can do that, but we're going to try here anyway. Now, if you could see right there, the bathroom there is clean.
Everything is going good. There's our big old clock. There we are, up on our makeshift TV stand. The new TV stand is going to be with us soon, but first it's got to get cleaned of its little thingamaboob, thingamabob that's going on over there. I'm getting the TV stand from my friend Patty. So there you have it. There you have our big semi-conscious news. We'll let you know again how things went and if we are indeed um, going to have more. And yes, we're going to have more. And we're going to put this in the best light ever. You saw in there we have no light in what will soon be our studio, but I'm going to put in a couple of lights courtesy of Five Below. So we're going to be very much professional here at Shangri-La, as I like to call it, here at Le Chalet, or the Chalet. In fact, our front door, we're going to have a little sign that says open, close. You'll notice also, let's pick up here. Excuse me, folks. I know we got to do a sports cast, but please let me take you on a little tour here. Okay, there you see, just right up there. If I could point it out to you, can thank you. There you see, hi, right up there. That is going to be used as our reminder. Well, something, you know, that's going to be our memory thing. So whatever is going on this week with me, you'll know about it. All right, there we go. And wow, we did all that 17 minutes past the hour, 10 o'clock. Let's get going, shall we? Because sports is what we do, entertainment is what we do, have fun is what we do. What we don't do is bore you with news. But we got to do something anyway. So let's get started with a little something from our friends at Awful Announcing. And the first one has to deal with the WNBA. Does it ever? Why? Because the WNBA and Caitlin Clark coverage, the most harmful narratives are the easiest to create. The back as I think one of the guys in this, well, this person, let's see, Lindsay D. Arcangelo, WNBA, wrote this on what is it called again? On Awful Announcing. We'll read you a portion here. I recently played pickup basketball for the first time in 10 years. After rolling my ankles multiple times over the past few decades, I delved into other less strenuous activities. But when a new friend asked me if I was interested in playing some casual co-ed pickup, I figured, why not? The basketball part was fun. It was an interaction beforehand that gave me pause. So we were shooting around and warming up. One of the guys started talking about Caitlin Clark, and he made it no secret that he had never even given women's basketball a second thought. Shocking, isn't it? Thank you, guys. And he made no secret at all. Before she came along, women's basketball, women's professional basketball, was an afterthought. Wasn't even discussed at the kitchen table during supper, during the din-din hour. But never gave it a second thought before she came along. She is also a reason why he started watching the WNBA, which everyone is all for. This reporter was about to ask him some follow-up questions when the tone of his voice quickly told me where this conversation was headed. Why is everyone hating on Caitlin? Why are they all taking dirty shots at her? I sighed heavily. I had already heard the same sentiment regurgitated countless times over the past 2 weeks, thanks to a narrative that had been peddled widely on social media via post, and, let's not forget, on The View by Sunny Hostin, who has since, I think, realized what she done wrong. There have been posts, video clips, podcast snippets by everyone from sports commentators to current and past NBA players with large followings to individual rabid Clark fans. The author of this piece even written about it before the season started when people were up in arms about Diana Tassari's rookie comment. I was not in the mood, and that was before he added, no one cared about the WNBA before Clark came along. And this is true, because to be honest with you, when the WNBA began, viewership didn't even lift above a 1.0. Nobody cared. Nobody knew what the WNBA was. The only times they ever got any type of fame was when Dennis Rodman wore a wedding gown and said he'd think about playing for the WNBA. Now, to be honest, the WNBA is sort of that redheaded, what type of stepchild of the NBA. The Women's National Basketball Association is trying to find its identity. What they're also trying to find is a national broadcast contract with one of the big networks like ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox. But they're basically on ESPN, CBS Sports Network, and Scripps Broadcasting's Ion Television Network. And then came Caitlin Clark, whose wide-eyed innocence and hotshot display of shooting prowess and defense got her Iowa Hawkeyes so close to the finals of the women's Final Four that it would have been something to see, and it was, although she and her team lost. So, if you're getting your WNBA takes and information from an NFL writer or sports dudes with podcast, well, let's put it this way. Yeah, in a sense to the post, I blurted out, if you're getting your WNBA takes and information from Austin River, an NFL writer or sports dudes with podcast, I will gladly point you in a better direction. Now, it was part humor, part frustration, and part, can we please stop fanning the flames for views and clicks? The replies indicated that he was inferring that anyone who doesn't cover the NBA can't talk about it or have an opinion, yada, yada, yada. We're all entitled opinions. In fact, that old proverb, opinions are a lot like a-holes. We all got one. And yes, we've all had the pros and cons of the WNBA. Some love it, some hate it, some wish it would go away. But it's not. Why? Because people are different. Both sides need to be represented. And they are, to some extent. The only problem is that the W in WNBA doesn't mean more money. Individuals who've never covered the WNBA before don't have the history to help provide context, don't know the storylines or the players, but have large platforms and the loudest voices are helping to fan the flames of anger, disgust, Whether knowingly or unknowingly, it's unproductive and does nothing to move the conversation forward. So here's how we do it. Here's how we do it. Stop comparing the WNBA to the men's game. This is like in Australian football, there's a men's AFL and now a women's AFL. Both are standing on their own. Both have some great teams. Both may have different rules, but the Women's Australian Football League is fast paced and has the same kind of quality that the AFL, the Australian Football League men's side, have, and they're higher scoring. Getting back now to the WNBA isn't the NBA, not by a long shot. It's the women's WNBA. It's the Women's National Basketball Association. Yes, friends, I'm going to quote the song again. Woman's got the strength. The woman's got the power. If you haven't seen a WNBA game, either live in person or on TV, you better, because these women play and play hard, just as hard as the men. They just get too little recognition. Why? Because in the media landscape that we live in, no one sees their games. No one cares. But now Caitlin Clark has shown up. Everybody cares. Everybody is amazed at what this woman has accomplished. Are her opponents jealous? Well, a couple of Chicago Sky players are sure as hell jealous. Their coach is also jealous. But why should they be? Why should they be jealous? Your league needs saving. Your league needs some great publicity. Your league doesn't need to be full of goons and thugs. Stop targeting. She's there for a purpose, and that purpose is to get you guys on the map. And you want to know something? Until last night, until Saturday night when this incident happened, you were getting national eyes unlike any time in your history. But now you got to wonder if it was a fluke. But I don't think so. I think right now the WNBA is on the precipice of getting more fans. But they're getting it from both areas, men and women. So now what? Simple. To the Chicago Sky and all the other opponents of the Indiana Fever, or of the Indy Fever, stop putting a bullseye on Caitlin Clark. She's trying to do her best, playing a game she loves the best. You don't have to thug her because you hate what she's doing. You allow her to play. Why? If you haven't seen her, she's that good. How good? She came this close from putting Iowa in the national championship. So, to the haters, I say to you, take that hate, take all that negativity, twist it around for some true positivity. Because as long as my name is Steve Baxley, the WNBA, with Caitlin Clark or whomever else will step in, they're going to put the WNBA on the map. And you're going to see the ratings rise. You're going to see attendance rise. And best of all, you just might get what you want. Equal pay, equal to those of the men's game. And who knows? You just might get that national network deal you've been craving for many, many years. 30 minutes past the hour, 10:31 Eastern time here. We're not taking a break because we got more news, scores, and everything else you need to know. Pat McAfee may be in trouble with ESPN. No kidding. As soon as it became clear that Pat McAfee was at Saturday's game between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky, duh, his show's not done in Bristol. It's done in Indiana at an old church. An old church uh, redone to be a studio. Saturday's game between Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky featuring Sky guard Kennedy Carter shouldering, thugging, I call it, Fever guard Caitlin Clark to the ground. It was inevitable that he'd be discussing the incident on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN and ESPN's YouTube channel, etc., and so forth. Fans didn't have to wait long as the topic opened Monday's show as McAfee went off on unnamed WNBA players and media and spent nearly 10 minutes explaining why Clark is the only superstar in the rookie class, punctuating his point by calling Clark a cash cow and one white who is a superstar. I got to agree with him. I don't know why, but I got to agree with him. Why and in what point? Caitlin Clark is the latest superstar to be involved in the WNBA. Lisa Leslie was a superstar. She was involved in the WNBA. You get where I'm going, kids? Well, McAfee started the segment by first discussing how players on opposing teams have talked a lot of trash to Clark, and he had a message to send to sports media and ex-WNBA players. Quote, there seems to be this notion that this whole evolution of success and popularity in the WNBA is because of this entire rookie class. I think there's a chance Kennedy Carter thinks Sky rookie forward Angel Reese deserves all this credit. The media talks about how it's the entire class, McAfee said, before asking a series of questions regarding TV ratings and jersey sales, which showed Clark ahead of Reese and Los Angeles Sparks forward Cameron Brink, the second overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. One has to wonder, where was Caitlin Clark? Number one. Okay. Now, not only did McAfee break down the numbers, but he acted incredulous and almost insulted that anyone would have dared question them in the first place. Here's the kicker. The kicker came when he was getting ready to wrap the segment up, though, as McAfee made his shocking comment. Quote, I would like the media people that continue to say, this rookie class, this rookie class, this rookie class. Nah, just call it for what it is. There's one white for the Indiana team who's a superstar. While McAfee was defending Clark's importance to the league, calling a female athlete a is a way over the line regardless of content or context. McAfee then continued ranting against unnamed critics and WNBA referees who tried to screw Clark over at every turn. The update we have on this story. USA Today's Chris Bumbucker reached out to ESPN for comment, and all of a sudden they got him silent. Ooh, scary, don't you think? Yes, indeed. Very scary. There's some people, and I don't know why, that think it's time ESPN had some balls and told Pat McAfee where to go. Notice I'm not saying a damn word. Okay, here we go. What is they doing here, huh? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we got some other stuff. We're gonna get you some sports and entertainment and everything else. But no, we can't do that because that's sound and we don't have the permission. We got to get everything permittable. Yes. Matt's probably doing another stream, so we want to wish him luck. Hello there, Matthew. Our friend, our producer. We got some major breaking entertainment news, and we are going to bring it to you, folks. This one, our first major breaking news, Paramount Global has agreed on terms of an $8 billion merger with Skydance, the Hollywood studio the media giant has collaborated with to crank out the blockbuster Mission Impossible franchise, according to a report. Skydance, founded by David Ellison, the son of software tycoon Larry Ellison, has agreed under the proposed deal with a Paramount special committee to pay $2 billion for Paramount's parent company, National Amusements. This story, according to CNBC. The deal could mark a long-anticipated cash-out by Sherry Redstone, the daughter of the late media tycoon Summer Redstone, who is the controlling shareholder of National Amusements. An announcement could come as soon as tomorrow at Paramount's annual shareholders meeting, according to reports. Quote, we received the financial terms of the proposed Paramount Skydance transaction over the weekend, and we are reviewing them, a National Amusement spokesperson said, by the way, end quote. Although the deal is valued at $8 billion, up from about $5 billion under earlier terms discussed between Skydance and Paramount, in addition to its namesake movie studio, Paramount owns CBS and cable TV networks, including Nickelodeon, MTV, and Comedy Central. Previously, Redstone would have received less than $2 billion for her stake, and the Class B shareholders would have been bought out at $11 a share, CNBC previously reported. Now, as part of the deal, Sundance will buy out nearly half of Paramount's Class B shares for $4.5 billion. $15 apiece, giving shareholders a stake in the newly formed company, according to a gentleman by the name of, I think it's Bruce Favor. Anyway, let's continue. Skydance, thank you. Can we get out of there? Okay, thank you. Skydance, founded by David Ellison, the son of software tycoon Larry Ellison. Okay, this is getting a little spooky wooky. Thank you. Previously, Redstone would have received less than $2 billion for her stake, and the Class B shareholders would have been bought out. I've already read that part, and I've already read this part. What I haven't read is this part. Skydance, which has the backing of private equity firms Redbird Capital and Colbert Kravis Roberts, will also pay down Paramount's debt by adding $1.5 billion in cash to the studio's balance sheet, according to CNBC. Redstone, whose company owns 77% of Class A Paramount shares, must sign off on the deal, which will not require a vote from the shareholders, a condition that was part of the negotiations, according to CNBC reporter David Faber. Good guy. Works for a wrong network, but that's okay. National Amusements rescued itself from the board talks, so the company only recently received the details of the proposal. Skydance and Redbird will own 2/3 of Paramount, while the remaining third will be controlled by Class B shareholders. Class B shares of Paramount climbed 7.5% to $12.80 on Monday. In early May, Apollo and Sony had expressed interest in acquiring Paramount for about $26 billion and breaking up the company, CNBC previously reported. But Apollo and Sony have backed off as Redstone favored a deal that would keep Paramount intact. Now, as negotiations have continued, Paramount's C-suite has also been shuffled in recent months, with Bob Bakish stepping down as CEO in April. He was replaced by a trio of executives dubbed the Office of the CEO. Dun, dun, dun. The three executives now in charge are CBS President and CEO George Cheeks, Chris McCarthy, President and CEO of Showtime MTV Network Studios and Paramount Media Network, and Brian Robbins, the head of Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon. Cheeks, McCarthy, and Robbins will address the shareholders on Tuesday and present to them the company's strategic priorities. The biggest deal is going to be whom is going to take over CBS. Okay. ABC News gave this report. If you were watching last night, and maybe you were, after a weekend in which conspiracy theorist Alex Jones warned that his media company faced an immediate shutdown by the federal government because of his bankruptcy cases, a judge on Monday allowed Jones to keep operating for the next 2 weeks while it is decided whether his assets should be liquidated. Both Jones and his company, Free Speech Systems, filed for bankruptcy reorganization after he lost 2 lawsuits and was ordered to pay $1.5 billion to relatives of victims of the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. They sued Jones for calling the shooting that killed 20 first graders and 6 educators in Newton, Connecticut, a hoax, claiming defamation and infliction of emotional distress. Okay, let's keep going on the entertainment side. All right, let's see here. By the way, if you're a new subscriber, you can lock into your Peacock streaming for $20. The Chosen Season 4 has been picked up by the CW. The CW, yes. Olive Garden cook sues over co-workers' ceaseless dry humping. What? Let's read this, shall we? And then we'll give you the scores. Hey, we read the weird things. Don't blame us. This is comedy. When you're here, your family, that is, if your family members compulsively dry hump you against your will and refuse to stop even after you notify law enforcement. A former line cook at a Baltimore area Olive Garden is suing the chain over a co-worker's incessant rubbing and grinding of his pelvis against her derriere dozens of times a day. That's according to a federal lawsuit obtained by the Daily Beast, in which Jane Doe accuses her bosses at the White Marsh Mall Olive Garden and parent company Darden Restaurants of letting the situation get so intolerable that she was forced to quit. Why did she want to go in on this? Each shift, without fail, the co-worker consistently rubbed and pressed his crotch against plaintiff's behind when he walked behind her. The May 9th lawsuit states this happened several times per shift that they worked together, sometimes more than 20 times in a single 8-hour shift. Anytime plaintiff bent over to get ice from the machine or to perform other regular duties assigned to her, the co-worker in question found a way to position himself directly behind her and press his crotch up against her behind. Doe claims in her suit that even when there were multiple routes for her alleged tormentor to get to his workstation, he always took a route that led him past plaintiff, then rubbed himself against her. When Doe complained to management, she said her hours were drastically decreased, taking away her ability to earn a living wage and forcing her to quit. The Daily Beast is not identifying the co-worker, as he is not named as a defendant in the lawsuit. Doe's attorney, Tamara Slater of Washington, D.C. law firm Allen Lecht and Associates, told the Daily Beast, quote, "Our client has experienced sexual harassment that is all too common in the restaurant industry. She was subjected to verbal harassment. She was subjected to physical harassment that involved unlawful touching. As a result of this unlawful treatment, she ended up unemployed. It has caused her extreme distress. It has been a long and difficult road to seeking justice, and we are looking forward to working to vindicating her right in court. Now, for his part, Darden says Doe did not prove that her working conditions were so intolerable that a reasonable person in her position would have felt compelled to resign, according to a motion to dismiss filed on May 29th. The origins of the case can be traced back to August 2022 when Doe was hired at an Olive Garden in Nottingham, Maryland. According to the suit, at first, Doe's co-worker was friendly to her, it says, but within a week, the ceaseless dry humping began. Doe felt violated and feared for her safety every day, the lawsuit states, contending that her co-worker's disgusting behavior had her constantly on edge and humiliated while at work. She became vigilant to avoid him and checked her surroundings at times for fear he would again grind his pelvis against her, the suit goes on. By that October, Doe had had enough and told her general manager, but he told her that she should not miss out on a husband, the lawsuit claims. So Doe complained to another manager who also allegedly didn't do anything to end the harassment. The company's tolerance of his vulgar behavior only emboldened the crotch grinder, the suit says. In late November 2022, Doe's co-worker pinned her against a towel rack in the restroom, which she says injured her back. At this point, she decided to go to the police, according to the lawsuit. And while court filings do not make clear if the cops did anything about it, it said in no uncertain terms that Olive Garden still did not. The location's general manager told Doe that he had spoken with the co-worker and that the co-worker knows not to do it again, the lawsuit says. In addition, the general manager's supervisor said she also had a talk with the co-worker. However, Doe was told the dry humper. Excuse me for a moment. Can we silence it? Thank you. However, Doe was told the dry humper wouldn't be fired, according to the suit. From here, things only got worse. According to Doe's lawsuit, it says management slashed her hours and began training replacements for her. By her 8th month on the job, her shifts had been cut by at least 25%, and she had no choice but to resign. In his motion to dismiss, Darden said even if the court considers all of her allegations, plaintiff had utterly failed to allege intolerability. In fact, the motion continues. Doe's working conditions were less objectively intolerable than those in a similar case thrown out in 2019 by the Fourth Circuit. Doe is demanding a jury trial along with the yet-to-be-determined pecuniary damages, compensatory damage, punitive damage, lost wages and benefits, and attorney fees. Attorneys for Darden did not respond to the Daily Beast request for comment, but would wonder if the woman in charge would like to have a book on the Kama Sutra for dry humpers. Let's get to the scoreboard, shall we? We've had enough. Let's smoke that cigarette and get you some scores before we shuffle off to that which we call the bedroom. Yeah, anybody here got a cigarette? I got a smoke. I mean, I've heard that. I've heard that using that there Olive Garden salad dressing helps move it helps move certain things. It keeps you loose. Yeah, but what about the croutons? Oh, they're very good too, especially if you're eating some and some of the crumbs get lost down there. Okay, I know what you're saying, Steve. Get to the show. All right, let's get to some scores. Soccer, naturally. In the international friendlies, Scotland over Gibraltar 2-0. Croatia over North Macedonia 3-0. Albania over Liechtenstein 3-0. England over Bosnia Herzegovina 3-0. Germany and Ukraine ended in a 0-0 draw. Jolly Voyage. I wonder if anything like that happened at the Waffle House. If it did, it probably was more funner. Anyway, instead of condoms, I understand they use the Italian dressing. Anywho, yes, it's better than a lube. Um, let's just get going fast. Time is fleeing. And so is our producer. In the USL League Two, game is not yet started. In the NPSL East region, Keystone East region, Philadelphia and Atlantic City ended in a 2-2 tie. In the Mountain Division and Metropolitan Division, and what other division? The Heartland Division, the Women's USL W League has not yet begun their games. So there you go on that side of life. Or is that side of life? Okay, we got about, we're about 52 minutes in. Let's finish this up so we can all smoke a herring. Yes, we're going to have to smoke something after that. And since you can't smoke tobacco or vape, let's go to the basketball. Let's go to the hoop, NBA. Let's go to the hoop. Let's see. Do we have any WNBA? No, we do not. Okay, so no basketball. Okay, let's get to ice hockey. No games on the ice tonight, either pro, college, or minor. Speaking of minor leagues, we have not had a minor league baseball extravaganza, and we probably know why, because everything else is just alike. No. We're going to try to get you all the scores from both the minors and the majors right now. Let's get you over to the majors. And then we'll go to the minors, and everybody be happy. Yeah, now if you go to Olive Garden, you can get the all-you-can-eat salad and the dressing. Dump the salad and, well, do what you got to do. Major League Baseball, about 4 games still going on. Let's get to them in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cardinals and Astros are tied at 4. Bottom of the 8th, Reds are ahead of the Rockies 11-3. Top of the 6th, Padres and Angels tied at 1. Top of the 6th, Diamondbacks over to the Giants 2-1. Final scores: Phillies over the Brewers 3-1. Mets over the Nationals 8-7. Orioles over the Blue Jays 7-2. Tigers over the Rangers 2-1. In Argentine Premier Division Soccer, Sarmiento over San Lorenzo 1-0. Estudiantes and Godoy Cruz tied at 1. Then Defensa y Justicia and Independiente ended at a goose egg tie. Okay, now, how much time we got left? We got about 6 minutes. MILB scoreboard.
Here's what I found.
Oh, thanks. Yay!
I'm happy you're happy.
Thank you. I'm happy anyone's happy. We're going through round and round and round and round and round. All right. Let's get scores of all the action in the minor leagues of baseball. Since we've already done the majors, let's go to the minors, because you never know. They might have brought us something. Okay, here we go. Hi there. Okay, here we go. We're going to give you as much as we can with what little time we got left. Let us let's do all of them, kids. Okay. Yep, we're going to do all of them. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, here we go. Games that are still going on. Bottom of the sixth, ACL Mariners losing to the ACL Padres. And once again, our teleprompt needs to get it checked. Come on, come on. We've only got, what, about 4 minutes left? Okay, let's get all of them. And come on. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Let's go all of them. All. All. Come on. We're going to go over our 11 o'clock hour. So let's, there we go. We're getting it. Yay, we got it. Okay, let's put her down here. In the bottom of the sixth inning, the Padres lead the ACL Mariners 3-2. Top of the seventh, the ACL Rangers lead the ACL Angels 5-2. Bottom of the sixth, the ACL Royals lead the ACL White Sox 3-1. Bottom of the fifth, the ACL Reds lead the ACL Brewers 10-5. Top of the seventh, ACL Athletics lead the ACL Diamondbacks by a score of 2-1. Middle of the sixth inning, ACL Dodgers 3, ACL Guardians 1. Bottom of the third, ACL Rockies 6, ACL Cubs 3. Final scores just in: FCL Rays 2, FCL Twins 1. The makeup of the May 16th game showed the FCL Rays beating the Twins of the FCL 7-0. DSL Cubs Blue defeated DSL Mariners 6-3. DSL Giants Orange defeated DSL Marlins 6-0. Final in 7 important innings. The DSL Red Sox Blue lost to the DSL Red Sox Red 3-2. DSL Astros Blue defeated the DSL Rays 9-3. New York Yankees lost in 7 games to the 7 innings to the New York DSL Mets, DSL Yankees, 2-0. The DSL Pirates Black defeated the DSL Rojos 5-1. DSL Miami defeated DSL Rangers Red 11-9. DSL Tampa Bay defeated DSL Royals Fortuna 9-5. Pirates FCL over Red Sox FCL 10-8. The FCL Yankees lost to the FCL Phillies 5-4. FCL Orioles blanked the FCL Braves 1-0. FCL Marlins defeated the FCL Cardinals 4-3. Final in 11 innings, FCL Tigers 6, FCL Blue Jays 7. These next games were suspended and to be completed on June 5th, June 9th, June 7th, June 21st, and June 6th. DSL Rockets are leading the DSL Angels 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Bottom of the second, DSL New York Yankees Bombers are leading the Rangers Blue 1-0. Top of the third, suspended, DSL Phillies Red 1, DSL Colorado 0. DSL Cleveland Mendozas lead DSL Cubs Red 4-2. Bottom of 2 suspended, DSL Arizona Black. They are losing to DSL Phillies White 1-0. Top 2, DSL Giants Black and DSL Arizona Red are scoreless. In the next suspended game of the top of the third, DSL Pirates Gold 3, DSL Cleveland Goral 1. Bottom of third, suspended, obviously, DSL Twins and the DSL Nationals tied at 0. Here are the games that have been postponed. The DSL Athletics, DSL Orioles Black, DSL Braves, DSL Padres Brown, DSL Royals Ventura, DSL Reds, DSL Mets Blue, DSL Tigers 1, DSL Blue Jays, DSL White Sox, DSL Padres Gold, DSL Brewers 1, DSL Tigers 2, DSL Cardinals nothing. Also postponed the DSL Orioles Orange against the DSL LA Dodgers Bautista. DSL LAD Mega, no score with the DSL Astros Orange. That game also postponed, as was the FCL Nationals and the FCL Astros. That is about it for everything and everyone and every juicy little tidbit. We have done it. And with about 42 seconds to spare. Thanks, everybody, for a joyful night. We will talk to you tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat time, same bat station. We thank you. Good night. Have a great rest of your Monday nights. And remember, Tuesday, it's going to be a steamer. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. See ya. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the men and women of the L2C Media Network. I'm Steve, the Baxman Baxley. We'll talk to you all tomorrow night, same time, same place. Good night, everybody, and drive safely on your way home. Make it a good drive. Make it a happy drive. Make it a positive one. Keep them, bring them back alive. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Good night. I'm going to talk to Matt a bit. Good night, everybody.